I know you're the instructor, and I know he's the...
Well, he's going to play dumb, like, well, I don't know, he's going to sit here and fumble his stuff, he's going to go with this.
Whatever you do, don't pull that, unless I was to screen pull it for some reason, but I can't imagine what that would be.
You need to show him how to work the door, all that other stuff, but we can do that too and play.
I've been studying, I feel very comfortable about my studying, and trying to finish up what you started with me 2.5 years ago. So.
Has it been 2.5 years?
It's been 2 years.
Wow.
It's been 2 years.
I wouldn't even have thought it was a year. Jeez, time.
I've had a couple hiatuses there where I've had some kind of ugly things happen in my life, and I have to take care of them, but I'm a focused and happy man right now, so that's good. I probably lost about a year goofing around with silliness. Give me a minute here, Nathan, and I'm going to make sure everything's good. Now, is he going to want to see my checklist that I'm using to check the plane out, or is he going to be comfortable?
He's going to want to see you use your checklist, and he wants to see you...
I've added quite a few things that bother me.
Well, that's fine.
Jumping in Elster 3 out 14,000 feet above.
All it says is that you use a checklist. It doesn't have to say what's on it, that you use a checklist.
Okay, Elster traffic move shine. Departure 29 right on front.
We're locked, and I've got altimeter. Checked ballast earlier, belts, control. I watched yours, mine, and everything is moving. Direction over here. Straight at me. Oh. Looks good. Now, am I going to tell him when we're going to box the wake, or is he going to tell me that? Do you know?
What are you talking about? He being the examiner?
The examiner.
It's depending on what the examiner wants to do. And I would say that you need to make sure that you guys are both on the same page regardless.
Okay.
So ask him, you know, do you want me to tell you when I'm going to do stuff, or do you have a script that you want me to follow, or whatever? So.
Okay.
Obviously, you have the controls.
I have the controls. And we'll have a 3-sentence check every time that we do that. Exchange controls, that is. And hopefully we're not going to have to, because evidently that only happens when I screw up.
Well, he'll take the controls from you to introduce slack line on tow.
Okay. We're good. Okay. Here we go. That's all I'm hearing from his radio today.
That's all I've heard too, and I told him about it, and he said, oh well.
I guess we should take that as a warning. Off the ground just a little bit to not run the wheel forever. Coming up, I'm going to come up with him. Still landing straight out. Still landing straight out. Now I would, if there were a rope brake, I would put the nose down, keep the speed up, turn back to the airport and land. been practicing everything you told me, Mike, and I'm serious about the studying, and I'm going to be a good pilot. You're going to be very proud of me one day.
You're doing great. I'm not concerned with anything I've seen. It's looking good.
I've noticed on tow that I'm constantly using my aileron to the right, and that's because we're just making a gentle left-hand turn all the time.
It's probably because of the way the aircraft is rigged. And
I was wondering, but it seems like when we're going down Grand Avenue, it relinquishes a little bit.
well, part of it is that you also have vortex coming off of the prop of the tow plane.
Oh, okay. And it's going to spin one direction or the other.
Yeah, that's part of it. But 863, that one is really bad. You actually have to hold that stick over quite a bit.
That's my favorite. Now, my favorite's 90 Sierra to fly for some reason. I don't know why.
You can box whenever you're ready.
Okay, so we're going to go down through the center and let them know what we're doing. There's the wake. I'm right there and hold it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to come back up, nice and easy. There's the wake, and I'm... Whoa, there I am. Almost back. Let me get it back there.
Be a little bit more aggressive, it'll be easier on you.
Okay. I was thinking slow and not fast. Okay, so we're going to up right-hand corner.
Okay. First off, let's put his wheels on the horizon, Gary.
Before we start?
Yeah.
I thought I was there.
No. You need to start right there, normal tow. Okay, now, you just move out. You don't climb.
Out to the right.
Move out. There you go. Keeping his wheels on the horizon until the tail is just outside the main, right there. Okay.
Down.
Now let's drop down, keeping the tail well outside the main until that horizontal is even with the stretch of the engine cowling.
Right about there.
A little bit more. You're about halfway.
Engine cowling. I see it. Right there it is.
Alright, now go across, keeping the horizontal at the engine cowling until the tail wheel's just outside the main. Come up a little bit, you're getting low. There you go, right there. The tail wheel outside the main.
Oh, I was starting to come up already. Outside the main, there it is, right there.
That's the corner.
Okay.
That's where you want to be. Now, come on up, keeping the tail wheel outside the main. Just like that. Wheels on the horizon and then back in the middle.
Run it one more time and I'll have that, Mike. I saw the landmarks for the first time. The way I needed to understand them. That's sloppy, but I can do that better.
Well, and that's fine. That's why we're practicing it.
Crazy lift. So I'm going to get behind and get stable here and clear everything. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to worry about being safe right now. Oh, he lost his rope. Did we lose it too? No? It's clear.
Yeah, well, you were below him almost right in the wake when you released it, and that's something that the examiner is going to not like. You don't want to be lower than the tow plane.
I should have just got out of all of that, and I was worried about staying in it. So that's bad. Got it. I'm all confident until you get in the plane with me, Mike. And it's just bad.
Alright, let's find that lift. When did we get up? We got up at about 37, something like that. There it is.
That's gone right through the center of it, huh? No, it was just the edge of it. God dang it. Now I'm all disappointed with myself. I should just flown through it. I'm not worried about that. I'm trying to impress you.
Don't try to impress the examiner. Trust me, I blew a check right that way. Not a good thing.
I just, I think it's really behind us.
There it is.
Definitely am aware where I am in relationship to our IP, and I would not want to be sinking right here. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and go on up the ridge, Mike.
Okay.
Down a little bit. Oh, it's definitely over there, isn't it?
Seems like. We were pegging the Vario behind the tow plane.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we did. What's up? I was going to tell you. Okay, am I in the call? 220 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to put a little trim on, even though I don't normally, because I want to remember to release it when we're landing.
Okay.
Is that 620 like a good formation?
Hear how cocky I was when we were on the ground? Oh, we're going to climb right up to 6,000 feet. We're going to go back and work in that a little bit, but I'm watching elevation, the towers, and I really want to turn away from everything right now.
They're coming down 800 feet a minute.
Which means I'm just on the backside of it, but that's... Come on. It's everywhere. I should be able to work it. I'm not going to be happy with that.
Okay, so I'm at 20 right now. Is that what you're saying, Caleb? What's that?
Come on.
Seems like the best lift we saw was over by those homes down there.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about our distance away from the IP. I feel good about that, but I won't feel much good about it if I keep sinking. There it is. Come on. Right wing.
There you go.
I'm aware of my height of the ground, so I'm not going to fly too slow. And I got myself...
400 foot a minute, it's a good climb. That's not bad. Nothing to sneeze at.
And
Right over the beehives. How about that?
I've read about that in some of the old stuff you find online about Elsinore. Beehive.
Oh, yeah.
So,
exemplifies that 1 minute below workout.
Lift was kind of unusual today, and it wasn't in the normal places that I found it. It seemed to be over green spots more than the rocks, which normally it seems like it's over the rocks or the bare spots.
Well, I think what we got going on is that hurricane that's up there, or typhoon that's up in the Gulf of Alaska, is actually pushing down a cold air mass that'll probably start kicking in tonight here, but you can even see it out there, the haze over the ocean. And I think that's what we're seeing, is that you have the cooler air coming in and it's hitting the drier, warmer air in here, and we're getting the shear line, but that shear line is happening further back than normal.
It's definitely a line that heads off that way.
Yeah, that's the shear line, yeah.
Because I was able to follow it across the valley and avoid all of the, you know, the intersections or jump zone. And it just kind of flew along at about 100 feet a minute. One of the things about knowing things about yourself and being older is that you can psych yourself out just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing this game in my mind where I'm going, no, you're confident, you know what you're doing. And then, no, wait, no, yet no, you know what you're doing. No, wait. Okay, still over there, huh? It is shear line because we just keep moving along it. I almost think I could fly up just parallel to the ridge a little bit back.
Probably.
And maintain a pretty good climb rate. Because now we're going into it again. And so I've just gotten across it is what's happening. How wide is a shear line normally?
It depends, but normally it's not more than maybe about 500 feet wide.
This guy too, you'll follow one of my buttons right out the north.
It's probably more than that. It's probably closer to about 1,000.
So that would make sense with everything I found today.
And that's what it felt like to me when I was up here the other day, with that shear going along. So
did it just go outside of it? And it's differently. It's a little more unpredictable than normal. You know, like to square yourself up and lift. Come on. Please give me 5,000 feet because we can do everything we need to do with that.
We can do it all in a 3,000 foot tow. But we want to practice some things too that you haven't tried yet. So.
Boy, you sure could get a plane in the sun, couldn't you? That's how they got shot down.
Oh, yeah.
And looking up there, I go, wow, I don't know what. Yeah, okay. So I read about all those people in World War II getting trained. I think I've got more training than a lot of them.
Probably a lot of them had. Geez, they were lucky if they had 20 hours of flight time by the time they saw combat.
You wouldn't have much of a chance against somebody who had a lot more, would you?
The Germans, towards the end of the war, were sending in teenagers that literally could barely fly.
Well, I'll tell you a personal story about that. My godfather was a Nazi pilot. He was a teenager, was Hitler Youth, and he flew straight to England, landed, and gave himself up.
There you go.
And they took him to America where he became, prisoner of war, and he never left because, no. It's nice. I sincerely believe there's lift on the other side of all that sea. A whole lot further before we go back and get what we can out of that and call it good. Release altitude, 15,000 per tow. Try this back down the ridge. You don't really feel safe. Just gonna speed it up a little bit. normal 600 feet above the ground. Talking aloud, is these reasonable thoughts?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And when I pee, I've got 1,000 feet, I'm good. Beehives. We'll see if we can scratch enough of this out of it. Do what we gotta do. And whatever's happening is happening pretty universally. I just don't feel good about that.
Nope.
We're going to go back over the valley, and if we got to land, we're going to land, right?
Yeah.
We're definitely not at an altitude where we want to be doing acrobatics. I'm going to go ahead and release that trim while I'm thinking about things. None of this. Boundary. What did I do that was unreasonable there, Mike? Help me. Anything?
The only thing that I could point at and say was that you were flying in some sync slow, but that's not disqualifying for anything on the test. It's just efficiency from the standpoint of work and lift and covered ground.
When I climbed the sync, I was putting it up close to 60, but...
Well, there were times when we were going up the ridge, so like I said, we had 800 down and you were flying at about 45, so...
You know, there's a little bit of lift, and I could probably turn in that safely as long as I keep the speed up here. Really? Really not enthusiastic about turning into the mountain there too much. We're going to turn on around and get ourselves lined up for the approach.
Over the jet, got up 2 minutes, 14 below, look out.
Tailwind. I'm only flying a little faster here because I feel close to the ground.
Okay. I went out there today and they cleared off those scar marks so they're easier to see.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to touch down between the two that are closest together up there. Touch down somewhere between those two and stop it before we get to the end of the grass before we turn towards the launch. Okay?
Yes. Elsinore traffic, this is glider 88 Whiskey, enter left-hand pattern for landing on 11 right, Elsinore. Okay, speed, trim, gears down, the spoilers are working.
what's your target speed you're aiming for?
60.
Okay.
Got to be 10 miles an hour. So I'm touching down between
The two that are closest together, towards our right.
Okay, got it. And I'm looking for traffic. I'm going to have a little bit of a left quartering tailwind, not much. My trim. I'm double checking everything in my mind here. I'm going to make, I want to slip this turn, so I'm going to lower that wing, bring it down. Straight it out. That was fast. Sorry about that. I will practice that again. We did it today and did a lot better with not you in here for some reason. And I want to make nice tight turns when I'm in a pattern. If I'm close to the ground, I want to put the speed at it. I'm imagining my touchdown point right now in front of my window, and I like my approach. Touchdown between the two farthest ones. Got it. Stop before I hit the second one?
Well, I guess you're aiming at this one, so it doesn't
No, I'm
matter.
aiming at the farthest one here. The next one.
Okay, just touch down somewhere in those two boxes.
That was bad. I was staring at the, I'm letting her roll again because I screwed everything up. I was staring at it too much and not watching the ground.
And we should have talked about it more before we took off.
I was staring at that and not looking at the ground, and that's, I flared, what, 5 feet too high?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Because I was more concerned about the descent, and it